How are you today? I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm doing something a little bit different and I want to hear from you. So, this space is going to be for you to really ask questions about healing work, life, money, or anything that keeps you stuck. I'm not here just to talk. I'm here to give you some tools that you can actually use right now. So drop the questions in the chat while I get us started. All right. So I'll go first. I realized I was avoiding some things I needed to face, around what was really making me anxious. And it was keeping me stuck in a mindset of the other shoe was going to drop. It always kept me expecting the other shoe or something bad. Whether there was a good thing that's happening, I'm sure a negative thing was going to happen. If an opportunity came to me, okay, great opportunity, it's probably going to be a bunch of obstacles to keep this opportunity going, right? And it was always that nervousness around good things happen, bad things are going to come next. And so I realized that my nervous system was experiencing something that I never realized. I didn't pay attention to it. Let me just say that. So when I realized that I had so much anxiety around, just worrying about things. Worrying, just finding things to worry about, or just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I realized my body was responding. And I kept saying, what was wrong with me? Like, why was my body, I was like getting tense. My jaw was clenched. And I was like, what the heck? So whenever there was something good happen, I always waited for the shoe to drop, right? Like I was looking for something bad to happen. You ever had that? So I then kind of connected that to me, trying to avoid being sad, and being sad is, hey Max, how are you? Being sad is one of those emotions, right? And we don't really like to be emotional. And avoiding emotions can literally make you implode. So this is something different. I'm just sharing with you guys like what happened to me, this week. And if you have questions about anything about healing, work life, money, anything like that, please, put your questions in the chat. So I can tell you that I realized that, and I've been avoiding some things and I need to face them. So, hey Sam, how are you? So I don't want you to heal in silence. Hey Biggie Chimp, greetings. I don't want you to heal in silence, and I just wanted you to realize that it's okay to realize that you need to cry, maybe, or you're anxious about anything, it's okay to be anxious, but it's not okay to. I'm telling you, when I was anxious, I was like, my whole body was tense. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, wow. And I'm one to meditate every morning for about 45 minutes, and then I go on a 45-minute walk every day and every evening. So I couldn't believe that I was that tense. I thought I had it under control. But I didn't. I didn't have it under control. Don't you get like that sometimes? Like you think you have, you know, control, and you really don't. It's just like, when you start to really look at the recesses of your mind and things that you're thinking and things that you're doing, especially when it comes to the cycle of things, like, wow, the cycle of everything that I'm going through is really, it's eating me up, and it's really making me crazy. Or have you ever kept repeating something? Like, say, okay, let's say you get a job, then you're on there like for 2 weeks or 2 months, and then you leave that job, or there was like a confrontation with somebody, right? And then you leave the job, or you're in like these bad relationships, right? You're in these bad relationships, and like you keep getting in the same. It's just a different person, same like relationship. There's always something going on, and you have to realize sometimes it's like, whoa, I had to realize it. So I have to figure that out. Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, I just experienced Sam. I just experienced that with the doubt. Like, it starts a little bit, then it starts getting bigger and louder. Literally, I had to talk loud to it. I had to really talk loud and say, "You're not going to do this to me today." It took me like 2 weeks to come out of that. But if you meditate, because I've been meditating since I think 2013, and it started like 5 minutes, and then it grew over time, and then it became part of my life, and I just know when I'm not, especially when and I think you said something about OCD, right? And then that's like something that's like an outside force, right? And it has to do with your nervous system. So a lot of times, anxiety has to do with your nervous system, and you don't realize it. And I had to realize that, hey, I couldn't believe I felt my jaw clench. I was like, oh my goodness, my jaw was clenching. It was really bad. So yeah, that was my experience today. That was not today, this week, and it's not even Friday yet. I think I've been experiencing it for 2 or 3 weeks. However, I think yesterday my friend came over, my friend Denise, my good friend, and I said, "Get me out of the house." And so we went out to one of our favorite restaurants, and we had like an early dinner, and it was great. But I was able to get out, recalibrate, and like fire up my energy, which is really, really good. And sometimes you need that. You need to get out of that space, the same space you're in, like maybe you're home or maybe you're at work, but you need to get out of that space to recharge yourself, because if you don't, yeah, it kind of gets bad. So thanks, Sam, for sharing that. I appreciate that. It was really good share. Anybody have any issues or questions about confidence or clarity? Anything like that? Any questions about that? Drop it in the chat. You have a question on that? Maybe meditation? Oh, well, no one has no questions. That's funny. So last week, I could tell you something else. So last week, well, no, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, I was I was asked to be on the Roku station and be a host of a book review, and so she asked me for 3 shows, and so I said, okay, I have enough books and people that I've interviewed before, no big deal. And I think I'm relating this to the anxiety. So I had gotten, I couldn't, I'm saying I couldn't believe it again, but I had gotten writer's block. You know how you get writer's block, you don't know what to write? I literally didn't know what to do as far as the show, as it's, giving people like reviews on their books. And I do them all the time. I do them about 6 times a week, on my regular show, this show here. And I couldn't believe I didn't have any idea what I was doing. Felt like I was lost. Again, every time I would get a great opportunity, my nervous system would shut down and say to me that this is not going to work for you. Something's going to go wrong. And I was freaking out, and I called to producer and I said, hey, I don't know what to do. And she's like, just breathe. Just breathe, because I think you're just not breathing. So I did, and I really had to step away from it, step away from the project, and get a little bit of space, because we sometimes we need some space from things. And I learned how to stop. Just learn how to stop. We don't use the pause button. We do use the pause button a lot, and then we keep moving. We keep moving. We keep thinking about other things. But I literally had to stop, and do nothing, think about nothing, and that was it. So I learned also how to use the pause button, no, the stop button. And I created myself a new word this week, and it was called unforcedness. And I don't know why I put it together, but I was not thinking, so I was like, I'm forcing myself to do it, and it was all coming out all wrong. So I guess that my new version of stop. Anyway, so let's see. So I learned that I had anxiety and how it shows up in my body, making me nervous. And I learned that my mind brings out the self-doubt. The self-doubt makes me doubt what I can do, and then my body shuts down. So I have to learn to stop and breathe. And I think the two strategies I had to learn this week was stopping. Stop. Say a truth to myself out loud that this is not true. This is an opportunity that's going to, give me great, profit. It's going to give me a great chance to engage with new people. So I had to stop and say that to myself in the mirror, because the anxiety had taken over, like literally taken over. The other thing I had to do was write down, I want to say I started with 5 things. So I wrote down 5 things that I was grateful for. 5. Or thankful for. And then I was able to not think about other things. And then I started writing affirmations, like another 5 affirmations about I am. I am powerful. I am, thinking straight. I am confident. So I started to write those things. And then the last thing I did was I wrote thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think doing that practice, I had forgotten all about it. And doing that practice along with my meditation helped me to get my nervous system out of self-doubt and out of that cycle of damaging myself, So, yeah, I had to get that right. Anyway, no one has any questions, so I think I'm going to make this a real short one. I just wanted to stop by and tell you guys that I really had one of those weeks, but I am breaking the patterns, and you should too. All right? If you have any questions that you want to ask me, or anything that, about self-development, healing, trauma, please put it under this video. And if you or anybody is still struggling with anxiety and things like that, give me a holler. Look in my bio. You'll see my link, and it's easy, www.ednawhite.com. And I'll say goodbye for now.